Hola, hola, mi gente. Hello, you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna help you with some of these problems out. This is topic is composite figures. Okay, so if I look here, my sailboat, I can see that it's composed of different figures. For example, here I can see I have a trapezoid. Okay, I also have a triangle, and I have a thin rectangle. But a rectangle it is. Okay, and so I must find the dimensions of those three figures. For example, here I know the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. To find a trapezoid, its area is equal to base 1 plus base 2 in parentheses times the height divided by 2. And the easiest one, of course, is the rectangle. And this one is just area is equal to base times height. And so I can see there that, let's do the rectangle first. Okay, so the rectangle, we need to know this. This is my base. Okay. Well, my base is base times the height. So base times height. So if this is 1/2 or 0.5, well, that means this is 0.5. So 0.5 times the height. Well, the height happens to be 9. So 0.5 times 9 I use for this one here. So remember that. Base times height. 0.5 times 9. That gives me the answer for the area of the rectangle. That's 1. Okay, you need 3 answers. Okay, 1 answer, you need 2 answers, you need 3 answers. Okay, so you need 3. 1, 2, 3. The first one is just base times height. So 0.5 times 9 gives you the area of the rectangle. Let's look at the triangle now. Okay, now the triangle is a little different. They don't give you the measurement there. You know this is 9, but I don't need this height all the way down. I just need it from here to here. Okay, this part, I need this part here. From here to here. Okay, so I don't need this 2.5. I don't need this space, 2.5. I don't want any part of it. So what I'm going to do is, well, I know all the way down is 9. 9 is all the way down, but I only need this piece. Well, then I'll subtract 9 minus 2.5 to get just this part. And that'll give me 6.5. That's what this measures right here, 6.5. And so now I can do the area of a triangle. Base, look at that, base times height. Okay, so base times height. So here, base times height. So you're gonna put it here. Base times height and divide by 2. Okay, so base times height and divide by 2. That's the second answer. Okay, that's answer number 2. Answer number 3. Okay, you need to find the 2 bases. So you need a base 1 and a base 2. And not a base 3, you need a height. Okay, and so base 1, remember, according to this one here, okay, that's a trapezoid. You see, base 1, base 2, and the height is perpendicular to the bases. Perpendicular means it touches at a 90 degree, both bases. See, so base 1, base 2, height is perpendicular to the bases. Touches at a 90 degree angle right there. Okay, and so I look there and I can see that this is not a right angle, nor is this a right angle. I can see the 9 and I can see 12.5. They're across each other like the bases, and then this height is 4. Well, that means that if I put a line down this way here, it's parallel to him, so that means that he's also 4. And that means that he's the height. So I'm going to put a 4 there. B1 or base 1, I can put 12.5, and B2 can be 9. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is input into the equation base 1, base 2, in parentheses, add them together. So here you're adding. Okay. So this plus this times the height, and then divide by 2. And then you'll get a third answer. And then once you have all three answers, you add them together, and you'll get the answer, the final answer. So first, base times height, base times height. Then the second one is base times height divided by 2. Base is 3, the height is 6.5 because we subtracted from 9 the 2.5. So base times height divided by 2. And then the last one is the trapezoid. Base 1, base 2, or base 1 and base 2. Height is perpendicular. Those are the numbers I'm going to use. Plug them into the equation and solve it. Okay. Number 2 there, we have the quarter circle advertising company markets different ad designs for customers. Mr. Flavio chooses the ad design shown below. So as you can see there, I mean, what that is, I don't have a whole circle. In fact, I don't even have a half a circle. In fact, it tells you in the sentence there kind of what you have. You have a quarter circle. Okay, so you have a quarter circle, and here in these formulas we also wrote here. Look, quarter circle. That's the equation you're going to use. Quarter circle. Pi times radius squared divided by 4. So then I look there. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. I have a quarter circle, so I'm going to put there pi times radius squared divided by 4. Which means pi times radius divided by 4. Now, we can use 3 or 3.14. It says 22 over 7. So we use 3 or 3.14. Now we got to be careful. Remember, because some of these problems, if you use 3, you'll get really close to the answer. But you got to check your answer key or your choices, make sure they're not close to each other, because if they're really close, you might have to use 3.14. Okay. But let's see here. If I know this is my quarter circle, that means my quarter circle, that means if I had the whole circle, for instance, if I had the whole circle like that, okay, this is like the center going out, or this way. My line doesn't go all the way across. So that means that this is not the diameter. This is the radius. So then they're giving me the radius. So then the radius is equal to 5, because it's from here all the way across. So it's 5. And so then I can input here. And for this example, we're going to use pi as 3. Okay, so pi is 3 times radius, 5, divided by 4. Remember, it's not radius times 2. Radius times radius. So whatever number you put here, you put it again. It has to be the same one. Okay, that'll give you the area of the quarter circle. Now let's see if that's all you have to do. It says the shaded area of the region of the design represents the part of the ad that is for artwork. So the shaded area, so that means this part, not this part. The text for the ad belongs in the rectangular space. Okay, so they're gonna put some wording here on the rectangular space. How much square centimeters of advertising space does Mr. Flavio have for artwork? Okay, so artwork was this gray part, excluding the text, that ad that's going to go in the rectangular space. So excluding the rectangular space. So the art is going over here in the grayish part, not here. This is just for the text. So what you have to do is find the area of the rectangle, which is just area is equal to base times height, and subtract it from this one over here. So you find this, subtract it from this. Now what is the base of this rectangle? Well, it's not 5, because 5 goes all the way across. It's that number there, not all the way. You see, this little space is not part of, that's 5 from here to here. So we don't want that. We want from here to here, and that happens to be 4.75. So here would be 4.75, times the height, which is this here, which is the same as this guy because they're parallel lines. So it's 2. So whatever you get here, subtract it from what you get here. Now, if your answer is really, really close, then you're going to have to go back and use 3.14 here. Okay. So just remember, if the answers are really close to some of these choices, because like this two here are close to each other. They're really, really close. These two guys, no. I mean, if you get 4 something or 70, well, then you know it can't be the other two. But if your answer's in the 9s or the 10s, you gotta be careful. And you might have to go back and do the problem using 3.14 instead of 3. Hopefully it'll work with 3. All right, good luck. On the third one there, it says Ford Construction Company constructs a setup of steps for the front porch. The side views of the plans is shown below. If each step has the same length and height, what is the approximate area of the view shown in the plans? Well, the way I see it here, I see that they give me measurements. That's 5, that's 5, that means that's 5, and that's 5. Obviously, the little lines there, that 2 lines means that the 2 line ones are congruent. That's 4, okay? So I gotta think, okay, can I make rectangles? Yes, I can. I can make rectangles. I can say, well, I can make slices here. Okay. And then if this is 5, well, then the base is 5. Well, what's the height? Well, let's see here, look. I can connect those like this. Oh, this one here. And so the height would be, well, if this is 4, then this is 4, 4, and this is another 4, 4, 4. That would be the height. Well, what's the total? Well, 4, 4, 4, 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16 is my height. So it's a 5 by 16. And you find the area of this rectangle. Well, what about this one here? Obviously it's 5. What's the height? Okay. This one is also 5. What's the height? And then this one is 5. 4 is the height. So then 5 times 4 is 20. We'll find the area of each one and then add them together. And you can get the answer. Easy. Okay. Number 4 there. Eduardo's father retires. Eduardo's father retiles the master bedroom in their home. The dimensions of the floor are shown below. How many square feet of floor is Eduardo's father retiling? So right smack in the middle, you should be able to see this triangle. And you know that it's just area is equal to base times height divided by 2. Okay. You should be able to see that right away. Base times height. It's giving you that. Base times height. Easy. That's one answer. Okay. The other one is 9. If this is 9.2, that means that all these are 9.2. That means this is just a square. Well, you used area equals base times height. Okay, for this one you're going to use base times height. So, base times height. They're all the same, so then it's just 9.2 times 9.2. Okay, you just got to show your work. Okay, don't put this just in the calculator and get the answer. Make sure you show your work. Base times height, because it's a square, all sizes are the same, because this little line tells me they're all congruent. So base times height gives you the answer for this one. So you got one answer here, which is base times height, 4 times 9 divided by 2. One answer. There's another answer here. Now you got this parallelogram. Okay. Now, if this is 12, well, obviously this is 12, which is the base. So we need, in this one here, it's also base times height. The parallelogram. I can see their parallelogram, base times height. And I can see that the base and the height are perpendicular to each other, which means they touch at a 90-degree angle. I see that this is not a height because that's not perpendicular to it. That's an acute angle. Here, base and height are not meaning a perpendicular to make perpendicular lines. So obviously that's an obtuse angle, it looks like it. And so this is not my height. My height is the one that's perpendicular to the base. Makes a 90-degree angle. And so I look there. I cannot use 9.2. That's not my height because this is not perpendicular to the 12. So what I must think there, okay, what line can I use? Well, I can use a line that comes straight down. And what does that measure? Well, it's giving it to you in the triangle. Right here, you see? It's giving you the line. And that's parallel to him. And because it's parallel to the line, that means this also measures 9. And now you can do base times height, base times height. And you'll find another answer. So you have an answer for this one, answer for this one, and an answer for that one. And then 3 answers, just add them together. And you'll get your final answer. Adios.